Going once, going twice. Sold for 30 francs to the Vicomte de Chanilly. Thank you, sir. Episode 26, then. A podcast in pieces. Some of you may recall the strange affair of the Phantom of the Opera. A mystery never fully explained. We are told, ladies and gentlemen, that this is the very podcast which figures in that famous disaster. Our workshops have restored it and fitted parts of it with jokes, so we may get a hint of how it may have sounded when properly edited. Perhaps we may frighten away the ghosts of so many years ago with a little entertainment. Gentlemen!
Hello and welcome to How to Be an Icon. I'm Gerrard Jones. I'm joined, as always, by Donna Cameron. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling spooky. It's rainy and cold for the first time this year.
Yeah.
It's been like, ooh.
It's been very autumny, and now it's like actually kind of like, ooh, we're getting cold, we're getting wintry, and we are getting spooky. If you have been enjoying our spooky month, there's more of it over at our Patreon. We have a very fun thing coming up on Halloween.
Ooh.
Actual Halloween. Do you know what? I feel like I'm going to say it now. We're going to have an in-depth look at the cult British classic one-off special, Ghost Watch Live, with Michael Parkinson. We're going to be having a look at that.
It's wonderful.
And going through it. So if you want to listen to that, it'd be very similar to our other episodes that we've done, because we did one on Resident Evil 4. We did one on
Chasing Ghosts, a book about ghosts, which is good and spooky.
Yes. And so, yeah, that'll be going up on Halloween. That'll be Friday, the 31st of October.
There's also another little surprise on the 31st.
There will be. So you got to wait for that one. Is it 31st? It is the 31st, isn't it?
Halloween, yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Sorry, did you just look me in the eye and go, Halloween 31st, isn't it?
Yeah. You know.
Oh, you know, Christmas 25th.
I got to check. I got to check on these things. Also, if you haven't already, give us a follow on your podcast platform of choice, whether that be Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whichever one it is. And you can also find us on Instagram, How to Be an Icon Pod. Today, we are sort of carrying on a little bit within the spooky sort of theme-esque, I guess, is the thing.
This is pretty spooky.
Broadway, it's the spookiest.
Oh, we got to go way back. There are going to be people who see this title come up and go, is she really still talking about this? Yes, I am. If you went to high school with me, I'm sorry, you don't have to listen to this episode. You get a free pass. But everyone else, buckle down, because Donna's talking about the Phantom of the Opera.
Yes, we're talking about the character, the Phantom of the Opera.
I'm going more like the concept.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Because we got a lot to... So, the way I want to kind of lay this out is, when talking about Frankenstein, Mary Shelley is really the focus.
When talking about
the Phantom of the Opera, I don't care about Gaston Leroux. He does not matter.
Andrew Lloyd Webber does, though.
we got a little bit to talk about Andrew Lloyd Webber.
And Gerrard Butler also.
We got to start at the beginning with all of these things, though, Gerrard.
Yeah. What's the Phantom of the Opera's favourite drink?
Who knows?
Milk. He's a weird guy.
Honestly, milk would probably be the...
I think he's a milk guy.
Do you know what I did find? Because I, of course, searched for it.
You've got to.
Always.
I've got to say, this is the thing that we do.
You actually never thought about this, audience.
Yeah, that we have to, on every single time, go and be like, type into Google, what is X's favorite drink? And you get so many bizarre links to websites that you're like, what is this? Like, is this a reputable news site? Is this anything? Like,
AI just sometimes makes things up. Google AI is the
Google
bane
AI.
of this show's existence, because it'll be like, I think RuPaul's favorite beverage is a Bud Light. And you're like, where have you got this from?
And like, it will link you to an article that has absolutely nothing to do with what it's talking about.
It just says RuPaul and Bud Light.
Yeah. So, but no, we do have to search every time being like, And
what is the Phantom of the Opera's favorite drink?
So, and the other thing as well is that like you've said before in the past of like back in the day, we probably could have gone on Twitter and asked like a celebrity directly what their favorite drink was. We can't do that now, so we do have to rely on these things.
The only thing I would say, I reckon if I met Andrew Lloyd Webber and was like, hey, do you have he would give me an answer.
Oh, champagne, darling. Surely.
I'm going to say a red wine.
Oh, of course.
I did find an odd thing that did come from this is there are a lot of pun-based cocktails.
Oh, I can believe that.
They're mostly named after like songs from the show.
Yeah.
They're all variations of Cosmopolitans.
I don't think the Phantom's drinking a Cosmo.
No, but I think women who go to watch the Phantom of the Opera are drinking Cosmopolitans.
Yeah, no,
it's branding.
That tracks. That definitely tracks. Yeah.
Also, Raoul is drinking a Cosmo.
But yeah, I'm gonna say milk is. I'm gonna stand by that. I want Google AI to pick up the fact that the Phantom of the Opera's favorite drink is milk.
Well, she's doing it in French. Everyone, Le
no.
Phantom de l'Opera, or The Phantom of the Opera, is a novel by Gaston Leroux, which was serialized from 1909 to 1910.
Okay.
Yeah, it came out.
Really cram that in that year, you know.
It was the like Sherlock Holmes thing of it came out every week. So the original novel's very funny because it's very inconsistent tonally because it's written by a man every week. And there are definitely chapters where he goes, oh, I forgot to do that this week.
Yeah. Much like our podcast.
But The Phantom of the Opera is the story of a gifted, beautiful young ballet dancer and soprano at the Paris Opera, Christine Daae, who is haunted and mentored by a secretive musician who she believes to be her angel of music. Now, saying all of this out loud is weird.
Yeah.
I am aware of this.
Mm-hmm.
This might actually be the Phantom of the Opera, who is a mysterious, disfigured musical genius who lives beneath the theatre.
Yep.
Using his influence and terror, mostly through passive-aggressive note writing, he helps her rise to fame while demanding her love in return.
Everything's got a price, you know? Everything's got a price.
Christine, however, is torn between fear, pity, and her love for her childhood friend, Raoul, who also is a patron of the theatre.
Yes.
You should join our patron. We won't fall in love with you.
Don't promise that. Don't promise that.
Not like this.
Don't be making promises that we can't be keeping. We've got some very attractive listeners, let me have you know. And you're one of them.
You listening? We'll nurture your talents.
We sure will.
The Phantom's obsession spirals into violence and basic, like, destruction of property.
Mm-hmm.
And Christine has to make a very difficult decision. It's Raoul. She doesn't choose the Phantom. He just vanishes.
We find out later she chose poorly. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. It was partly inspired by real events and real people.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so fun.
There is little bits of things that are just true enough,
Oh.
which I was obsessed with this as a teenager. Again, Kelly, Gemma, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you've got to hear me do this again. The first is the Paris Opera House.
That is real.
Is real.
That's a real place, yeah.
I've seen it outside. I wasn't able to go inside, and I really want to. It's like one of my bucket list things because there is a few of these things that I really want to see. It was commissioned by Emperor Napoleon as he redesigned Paris because he almost got assassinated in the old opera house and was like, ooh, stinky opera house. I want my opera house.
I mean, girl, get it. Like,
but as they started construction, it is designed by Charles Garnier, who won a newspaper competition.
wow.
Like you did in the 1800s. Everyone just submitted their designs.
I think that's pretty fun. Is it like when Homer Simpson designed that power plant and it was...
It's closer than you want it to be. Like you're laughing, but like not super far off. And they're like, wow, this is actually like... Very quickly, they learned there was an underground stream where they were building it. So they ended up building a huge cistern to house a lot of the water, which they now call a lake. It's not, but there is a huge body of water under the theatre.
Ooh,
and it's
fun.
almost directly under the stage.
That's
So
very
there is
fun.
like such a direct, like, other fun fact. It's still used to train firefighters to swim in the dark.
Oh, wow.
So they take-
I mean, that's a pretty good...
You can go on tours, like you can go down, like you can see it, like it is
it's not decorated and full of candles, but like it is a space under
They're
the.
so dramatic. I thought the French would really be about that. I thought they'd be like, yeah, absolutely.
Another big one is the chandelier.
Yes.
The Paris Opera House does, in fact, have a chandelier. And there was an incident during Act 1 of Hellier where the roof caught on fire and parts of the rope that was keeping up the counterweight set on fire. And it was the counterweight that fell.
Yeah.
But obviously in the retelling, it becomes the chandelier.
Yeah. Like that episode of Only Fools and Horses.
You all know the ones.
You all know the one.
The chandelier falls and Rodney makes a face.
He sure does. I can't wait for our 9-part series on how to be an icon, Only Fools and Horses. Because if you think Donna knows everything about the Phantom of the Opera, she actually knows way more, a disturbing amount more about Only Fools and Horses.
Based on my appearance, I know significantly more than you think I do.
Yeah. Oh my God, you really do. That would actually be your like mastermind subject, I think. I think you could definitely make that happen because it's so in there. You're like a Only Fools and Horses savant. Like,
well, the counterweight injured 7 people and killed 1 person.
and Rodney did make that face.
When they all went to Margate.
Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
the bus caught on fire.
Sorry, I've really like derailed this now.
You really like undermined me. How unlike this show. How unlike Donna to talk about the Phantom of the Opera. How unlike Gerrard to just make fun of me for my interest.
I've really got myself on that.
Denzel makes those terrible sandwiches and everyone hates them. Marlene. I can do this. I can do this for the next 2 hours.
Our international listeners are going, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. This one's going to be terrible in the algorithm. Please continue.
I'm so sorry, Uncle Albert. They find him at the Navy mission and Rodney's like, you've got to come home. Right.
Edit. Okay, we're back.
There is also a chance that the character of Christine Dio was inspired by a real person.
Okay. Yeah.
Which was Christina Nilsson, who was a Swedish soprano, had a very similar like life story, like orphaned, worked at the ballet, had a very similar appearance as well, and had a exceptionally clear voice. For the music people out here, this means nothing to me.
Okay.
But she was a B3 to an F6.
Right, you can't just be reading people's measurements out like that, Donna.
Yeah, I know, right? But like contemporary reviews of her at the time were kind of reworded and put into the novel.
Oh, okay.
So it's a really easy comparison.
Pretty 1-to-1, yeah.
There are a bunch of like random royalty being patrons of theaters.
Yeah.
Who were marrying women that they went, like that one.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into how ballet was basically sex work for a while.
That's a whole thing.
You're all not ready for that conversation, but... Yeah. And finally, there is also a story, and it's one of those like apocryphal, like rumor stories, gossip. Mm-hmm. We don't know how true it is, but there was a musician that performed at the old opera house before it burned down, who became very disfigured as a result. Oh. Might have also been obsessed with the dancer. Oh. We don't know how true that story is. I was not able to find any reasonable source. But based on our Mary Shelley episode, and given the way that Percy lived his life, these things are more likely than ever at this time. That you go, well, yeah, obviously, like, that was going on.
And if you want to find out a bit more about Percy Shelley, listen to our Mary Shelley episode. It was a damn good one. It's very similar to this. If you're enjoying this...
The Mary Shelley one's a bit more intelligent. This is the smartest.
We don't talk about Only Fools and Horses in that one, so yeah.
Or do we?
We don't.
But the novel was like well received in French and English, and there were like reviews at the time that said it did poorly and everyone hated it, but you're able to look back on records now and it actually sold exceptionally well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a bit of like a Dan
We have a bit of
Brown
the-
50 Shades of Grey.
We have a bit of like the Twitter thing of like,
oh, no one liked this thing, you're like, but everyone read it.
yeah.
And you can kind of see it. It's a bit sexy. It's a bit melodrama. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. A lot of people have been saying the same about the latest Taylor Swift album. And it's like, well, you know, I can't argue with numbers. Like, it's a listen to album. I don't have to like it, but people be listening to it.
A review at the time from the New York Times expressed disappointment in the portrayal of the Phantom because the critic was really disappointed to learn it was just a guy.
Oh.
Apparently, like, a lot of people are like, what do you mean it was just a dude?
Yeah. Phantom, like, oh, it's just a man.
Oh, it's just like a man. And as a result, like, all of the suspense and horror was lost. And I remember having the thought of like, that's so funny as a contemporary reader going, no, that's so much more frightening that that's just a man. That's just a man out on his own.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I you know, it did the opposite of Ron Seal, though. It did not do what it said on the tin. You know,
They said Phantom.
Yeah.
It was just a dude.
It was just a man. A very real man.
Oh, God, he's so real.
He's so real. We talk about lad stuff as well. And like,
This is lad
this
stuff.
is lad stuff. You know, you got to negger a little bit. You know?
The story also like kept being reprinted and serialized and republished in France, England, and America. It was like people did like this story. My final little bit on the novel. Gaston Leroux didn't get to see the success of his novel. He didn't get to see like the reevaluation of it. He also didn't see the film of it because it came out the year before he died.
The year before he died?
Yeah. So it came out like, I think it was like 18 months before he died, but obviously you didn't see films immediately when they came out.
He just kept putting it off.
He just was like, I'll get
around to it. I'll get it. Is it on Netflix? Is it still on there? I've gone off Netflix, but I was going to get it back.
My final point on this, because I listened to about 3/4 of the original novel again.
Yeah.
I only have so much time. There are two really fun things. Everyone points out that the Phantom has shitty handwriting. They go out of their way to, when receiving notes, being like, have you seen this?
Sloppy
I can
penmanship.
barely read it.
Yeah.
And the Phantom tends to refer to himself in the third person.
You got to get that name to catch on, though. You know, like...
Which I think is very funny.
You keep calling yourself the Phantom, and it's awesome.
I love that.
I love that.
Because he's doing chin-ups.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to keep saying it, you know. It's like if I'm like, yeah.
OG.
Yeah. The J-Dog is in the house. I'm going to start saying that at the beginning of every recording and hope that it catches on, you know.
I'm going to stop doing the show if you start doing that. Why is not a joke, I'm setting up as the joke.
Okay.
Why do you think the Phantom signs the letters OG and not as Opera Ghost and not Phantom of the Opera? Because it's PTO.
Please turn over.
And people just turn the note over.
Oh, I guess they would do, wouldn't they?
It's like remarked in like a few different things of being like, that's why it's always OG, because turning the note over is stupid. And you go, I can't have
PTO. Nothing on there.
Oh, there's nothing on there.
But then what I would do is I'd turn it over and write out the Phantom of the Opera in like big.
No, Gerrard, you draw a willy.
I would, yeah. Or I'd do. I tell you what I'd do. I'd be like, I don't know whether you ever did this in school, where it'd be like, turn to page, you'd write in the textbook, and you'd write, turn to page 83, turn to page 14, turn to page 9, your mum's gay. Like,
yeah, it's like you've drawn a mustache on a woman, it's like, it's your dad.
Yeah. Yeah. I do that. That's what I do.
Well, in 1925... The Phantom of the Opera was made into one of the iconic Universal horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
Starring Lon Chaney. They kept Lon Chaney's makeup incredibly secret the entire time they were developing it. It was only till they brought it onto set.
Yep.
And apparently women were fainting, women like needed smelling salts, like they did have a very like big reaction to it.
That was all the benzines they were doing though. Like that's
yeah, like that's
you know,
just
that was
all of
nothing.
like that's the 19 martinis and the like the drugs you just can't even make anymore.
Yeah.
The production was super troubled though.
Mm.
Everyone hated the director Rupert Julian. No one got on with this guy. The director of photography, Charles Van Egger, ended up being a go-between between him and Lon Chaney, to which Lon Chaney tended to respond, "Tell him to go to hell."
It's good stuff.
Lon did whatever he wanted, it was remarked.
I respect Lon.
Have
Chaney.
you ever seen any of that, like,
of the
black
classic,
and white?
The classic Universal horror film?
Yeah.
Not like actually in their entirety. No, I have like obviously seen the bits that everyone knows, but no, I've never watched any of the like classic monster movies.
I have seen the Phantom of the Opera a long time ago. It's very fun.
Yeah.
It's very fun. It is that really wonderful time of filmmaking of people just really trying to see what they could do.
Yeah.
And like the makeup's really, really intricate. Like
Yeah.
Lon Chaney's really like performing and like kind of developing what like being a horror actor is.
That is fun. Who was going to play the Phantom of the Opera in the... You remember like a couple years ago, they had the Dark Universe reboot when it was like they had the Tom Cruise's The Mummy, and then they had that... They did that photo shoot where it's like they're all there like, yeah, this is our new Dark Universe. This is going to be our MCU, and it's a picture of all the actors. And they're clearly taken all at different
Honestly,
times.
at this point, it would be like bloody Jason Momoa or something like mental.
Man, I'm gonna do some on-air Googling for
Yeah, no, go for it.
because like I'm genuinely curious as to see, because I did not know that the Phantom of the Opera was part of the Universal like movie.
Yeah, it's one of the like better known ones as well. It's one of the more watchable ones because it's like quite well made. My final bit while Gerrard Googles this, it is believed Lon Chaney haunts the lot where they filmed the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, a lot of people report to have seen his ghost on that lot, which I think is the funnest thing in the world.
Unfortunately, we don't have any...
Who would you want it to be?
Oh, who would I want it to be?
It'd be one of the like 4 men that are in everything.
A Shyamalan.
No, because he's too twinky. Who's the other one? Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac? Pedro Pascal.
Yes! Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Lin-Manuel Miranda, I think, would be a pretty good one.
Oh, could you imagine me watching him be the Phantom of the Opera?
I'm the Phantom of the Opera. No
Coming at ya.
Coming at you.
About to drop ya.
In Paris. No
Don't
slack.
harass.
Don't harass. In Paris. Eiffel Tower. No. Now you're thinking, Gerrard, you're just saying things. And I'm like, well, that's what Lin-Manuel Miranda does.
We all love Hamilton.
Sure we do, Greg.
But I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to 1984.
What a year.
Gerrard, what would you say if I told you that there are in fact more than one Phantom of the Opera musical, and it's not the one you're thinking of, the one we're not allowed to talk about yet?
I mean, now it sounds weird to say because it is like a staple of the West End and Broadway.
Yes.
But it's a weird concept to do as a musical, I think. Like
Interesting. Many people would disagree because many people have done it as like operas as well.
An opera I can kind of understand. I think because I just think of, Casio keyboards whenever yeah, all of that sort of stuff. So,
pre Andrew Lloyd Webber, there was
nothing. Pre Andrew Lloyd Webber, there was nothing.
And then there was Ken Hill's The Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
Now, I listened to this in its entirety, and I felt like a crazy person. there's something very bizarre about listening to a different Phantom of the Opera musical.
Yeah.
It premiered in Lancaster, England in 1976.
You know, people have like off Broadway or off West End. That's off. Like that's
Yeah, that's like off south of England.
Yeah.
Like, that's off London. This one is a lot more comedic. It's very melodramatic. It's very 70s in it. It's almost a bit Gilbert and Sullivan-y, but not all the way there. I made a note here that during the song, she's got the nodules. Let me finish the rest of the sentence because you are going to have to bleep this.
Okay.
Carlotta calls one of the theatre managers a fat little
Wow.
She calls him a homophobic slur in the middle of this musical that samples real operas.
Oh, okay.
Well, because the original novel mentions real operas throughout. So they use those operas in this.
Yeah.
But then it has original songs that say stuff like that.
Yeah.
And some of it almost sounds the same as what comes later as well.
Yeah.
It's a very odd experience. I really did feel weird listening to it. It's like I'd fallen asleep.
Yeah.
In 1984, the musical was revived onto the West End, and it was seen by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Cameron McIntosh.
So it wasn't even his bit. Like, you didn't even come up with the idea. Wow.
They approached Ken Hill about adapting the show for a larger West End production, but they eventually decided to do their own. This is especially shitty because Andrew Lloyd Webber had previously worked with Ken Hill on a revival of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Wow.
So he really came in and cribbed his bit.
Andrew, my lord.
This version, though, the Ken Hill musical, does very occasionally get revived. It has quite a few revivals.
You have to really put that on the poster, though. Like, you have to make sure that you know.
Ken Hill's
yeah.
Phantom.
Because otherwise you're going to be very, very, like, when they're dropping slurs in the middle of it, being like, I didn't know that was in this.
Whoa. Do you know where it gets revived the most?
Lancaster?
Japan. Last year, it had a run in Tokyo.
Any particular reason, or just...
The Japanese really like the Phantom of the Opera the same way they do Alice in Wonderland, in that kind of abstracted, like, once removed sort of way.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because we have a Phantom of the Opera anime on the cards.
Oh, fun.
A thing that I am both excited for but dreading, because I go, what on earth? But this is the bit you all wanted me to talk about. This is the bit we all thought we were here to talk about. It's Andrew Lloyd Webber and the yassification of the Phantom. My dissertation. In stark contrast to what I just said, Andrew Lloyd Webber claims that he first saw the story of the Phantom of the Opera when he was walking through a book market with nothing to do one day, and he saw it and read it and went,
he just so happened to.
It had nothing to do with the fact he was obsessed with, starting a relationship with a significantly younger and more attractive dancer-singer from Hot Gossip, Sarah Brightman.
You know, I really see myself in this role. It's like, oh, do you? Oh, do you?
Andrew Lloyd Webber self-described it. There's a Beauty and the Beast quality to it.
I bet.
They were also going through really bad divorces at the time, the pair of them. So he definitely wasn't like...
A running trend for Andrew Lloyd Webber, right? I believe.
Yeah. Like, and you know what really like impresses a chick? You write a whole musical with a self-insert character in it.
Yeah.
While also casting her in the main role.
Yep.
Well, they got married the same day that Starlight Express debuted on the West End so that Sarah Brightman could meet the Queen.
He's like, so... We will do an episode on Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I want to so badly. And this originally was going to be that, but there's too much. I have to, like, streamline this a little bit.
But like my impression of him is that he's actually very tacky. He's incredibly tacky.
He's a bit. Ooh. I don't know how to describe it.
I mean, you look at that man and you do go, you know.
For people in the UK, outside of the UK, sorry, we've been making fun of this man for some time. He used to be on Spitting Image as a puppet that would play the piano with its nose. He then later had an American Idol style talent show where he sat on a throne.
Yeah.
And everyone would like bow to him at the beginning.
Yes. Every show that would happen.
It was really weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, it was weird. Like I say, we will do an episode on him at some point.
But we're not there yet.
But is he an icon? I don't know. But he's a bit tacky and he's a bit icky.
Unlike a lot of his shows, Phantom actually had quite a slow burn. He tends to work quite quickly on things, but this one went a little bit slowly. And he ended up staging a test performance at his house because he has a theatre at the end of his garden.
Of course he does, darling.
Oh my God. British aristocracy are disgusting.
He's a lord, don't you know?
Yeah. During this test performance, he wanted a selection of Joe Public.
I want to know so bad. Who did he think were regular people? Who did he think was like, yes, average Joe, the everyman?
We have David Mellor, businessman and sponsor of the Academy Trust.
Okay.
David Frost, TV host and journalist.
Yeah.
Geoffrey Howe, an MP Conservative. And Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, yeah. Well, every woman, you know.
What a Joe Public.
Look, her dad invented soft serve ice cream, so
I heard that list. I remember having to search to make sure there weren't people with the same name.
Yeah.
And you're like, Joe Public, Margaret Thatcher.
I regardless of the woman's politics, what did she think of the Phantom of the Opera?
I was not able to find out.
I'm
so sorry.
I can't imagine her really getting on board with it.
But then Trump loves Les Miserables.
Well, yeah, but he just likes that it's French. He's just like, oh, it's
he
so
just likes
cold.
the colours.
Yeah.
We went to a baby's birthday party, and I imagine it's very similar, that just the colours and the noise. So
I know many of you will be waiting for our episode on Donald Trump. No.
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 Nah.
Just before anyone asks, no.
Andrew Lloyd Webber kept changing his mind as to who he wanted to direct and write the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And there was kind of two people really in the main running for director. One is Hal Prince, who directed Cabaret on Broadway and Evita on the West End.
Yep.
Hal Prince is a real old school Broadway director.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then there was Trevor Nunn, who directed the first run of Les Miserables on the West End. They ended up going with Hal Prince.
Because Andrew Lloyd Webber was like, none of that.
No. It's because
Trevor, none of that. Thank you very much.
Cameron McIntosh was the producer on Les Mis, and the reviews in the opening week weren't great. So they were like, Hal, sorry, I know we sacked you, but come back, please. Lloyd Webber also loved making Cameron do the firing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, darling,
it's like
darling, I'm not going to get my hands messy.
I don't want to do this.
Darling,
it's
I
all too stressful.
I don't want to do the bad part. You can do that.
But yeah, they ended up going with Hal, who was the kind of director of you do anything to make the show good.
Yes.
They discussed at one point getting a live elephant. They practiced runs of the show with doves. They ended up not doing it because they shit everywhere, but
Cowards, I say on that one.
know.
Cowards. No elephant.
They hired British magician Paul Daniels.
Yay!
You like it, but not a lot. He helped arrange some of the special effects in the first run of the West End show.
Oh, that's very fun.
He had a lot of involvement with like trap doors.
Oh.
Because there's a good couple of scenes where the Phantom just vanishes.
Mm-hmm.
And the trap doors they had were enormous.
Oh,
and he
okay.
kind of came in and went, no, you can
make it way smaller.
You can make these a quarter of the size and still get him through. And they're like, are you sure?
Because this show has already gone off the rails and our international listeners have long since turned off because they're like, I don't know
Please,
what
if you're still listening, you get a sticker.
Yeah, your terminally online Britishness. So I'm about to just drop some of that. So if you don't want some terminal online, like terminal Britishness, then you can turn this off. A great story from Paul Daniels was that he was on an episode of Sooty and Sweep and he got injured after one of the puppets threw a slice of pizza in his eye.
Sooty from Sooty and Sweep was the first celebrity I met that I was starstruck by.
You'll hear more about that another time, though.
That's coming up.
A tease for later, but yes.
Paul Daniels and Hal Prince also really got into their heads that they wanted, whenever they were in the Phantom's lair, to have remote control rats with red eyes that would just kind of zip back and forth.
Yeah.
And they watched it and they're like, no, we're not doing this.
No, that's
apparently
fair.
Cameron's like getting out of the seats being like, stop, no.
It would sound like a remote control car, just like,
It's not the only problem we have with remote control yet.
Oh, okay, we got more.
They do make some really smart decisions because the theatre they're in, Her Majesty's Theatre, is a theatre I have performed in as a child. It's not very big.
No.
It's one of those really little London theatres, and they can't have huge casts. So in certain scenes, including like the Masquerade, they have dummies on the stage.
That's fun, yeah.
And they choreograph it in a way that you don't notice what is and isn't moving, which kind of makes the whole thing feel a little weird and unsettling.
Yeah.
But it's so that you're able to fill it out to 50 dancers rather than 15.
Yeah.
One of the most famous scenes in the show is they have the Phantom take Christine down on a boat, and the stage fills with smoke, and the boat kind of just moves across, and it looks like they're sailing. They had an enormous issue because the boat was remote control, and it was on the same radio signal as the local fire station. So anytime a fire truck went past, the boat would go off in any direction. And it is like, there are stories, Michael Crawford is telling the story of he is trying to stop it falling into the orchestra pit. And it's like, they are just having to keep going as he is like actively pulling this boat back before it lands on the cello.
Again, we're going British again. There was, when I was a kid, my friend had a remote control robot from Robot Wars. It was It was Matilda. But his mum ended up throwing it away because it was on the same radio frequency as something else. So at like 1 o'clock in the morning, it was like in the cupboard and it was like going boom, 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 boom.
Oh no.
And she didn't know what it was and she was terrified. And then they found out the next morning what it was, and she was like, "Get out of my house!
It just needs to go." The other really big one is they ran into massive issues with London Council because of the chandelier effect.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big effect that they do, you know.
Seeing the show live on stage is unbelievable because they drop that chandelier.
Yeah.
And obviously the council like, no, we're not going to allow you to do that. There used to be, and I don't know if this is the same, you could apparently at one point tell what country the production was in by how quickly the chandelier fell. Because some countries had significantly looser health and safety restrictions, so you could really swing that thing. And some countries it does kind of fall quite nicely.
Gently and, you know.
So yeah, there are people who'd be able to tell you whereabouts it was. But they're getting through this. They are starting to develop all of this. They still haven't cast most of the people. They bring in Cockney rebel singer Steve Harley.
Okay.
To do the title track as a single, which went to number 7 in the UK charts.
Like it's 1984. We just let anything happen, you know.
I cannot stand the keyboard machine in that title song. Ding, 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 ding. I hate it. It's so 80s. We've never replaced it. It's awful.
Yeah.
Steve Harley, by the way, is convinced he's got the role because he's like, well, they put me in the single. They auditioned me. Like, they ended up giving it to Some Mothers Do Have 'Em actor Michael Crawford.
Yeah, you know.
This show has been too deep cut British for me to go into Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know nothing of it.
Oh, God, it was like a 70s sitcom where he plays a simpleton.
Okay, wow.
Betty. That's for, like, our parents.
Oh, no, I do know it. Yeah.
You told me off for making this joke before.
I do. Yeah, I forgot that's
he wears a little beret and a coat, and I think he's a cleaner.
Oh, the cat's done whoops in my beret. Yeah, all that shit. Yeah.
Actually, like, Michael Crawford was like a very well-established stage performer in shows like Barnum. He plays rides a unicycle in a musical. Like,
fair play.
Also known for having a bit of a temper.
Well, you know, was the time.
He was nicknamed Joan Crawford behind his back. And he, throughout his run of the show, would get very into character. Very, like, intensely into character.
Oh, we're doing some Jeremy Strong method acting type stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he would also bollock the crew in character. So apparently, like, if there were, like, technical problems, they would get called up to his dressing room, but he's still in, like, the full costume and in character. And there's a little bit of them being like, why am I tolerating this? And also, this is the most frightening thing
I can believe that
I've ever encountered. The show came together once they got everything cast. It was 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think
quick turnaround.
I don't think people realize how quickly West End shows actually come together.
Yeah.
Once you got the casting done, it's somewhere between a month, 2 months to opening night and previews. Sarah Brightman didn't perform during the first preview because she claimed to lost her voice.
Oh no.
Her understudy performed, but she was back the next day because the reviews were very favourable.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, isn't that weird?
Isn't that a coincidence?
For a lot of this section, I used a BBC documentary talking about the anniversary of the show, and this will not stop talking about how sexy the show is. It's
not the first thought I have.
I guess in contrast to everything that came before
yeah.
They were able to, like, pull out the subtext a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a self-insert character. For who? I'm not saying, but you can figure it out.
You say subtext.
It's text.
Yeah. The Garth Marenghi quote of, I know writers who use subtext.
And
they're all cowards. That's absolutely the show.
But yeah, like, they are declaring that the Phantom's sexy, everyone.
Oh, I bet. I bet whoever wrote this would be saying that.
Yeah. And I guess it worked because The Phantom of the Opera is the longest running Broadway show in history. It celebrated its 10,000th performance on February 11th, 2012, and was the first Broadway production to ever do so. It is the second longest running West End musical after Les Mis, and is the third running West End show ever after Mousetrap.
Wow.
So, like, the numbers are impressive. It's played in almost every continent.
Yep.
It's been put into... It's something like 70 million people have seen it. It's like an absurd number.
It's crazy.
It's that 80s mega musical thing. Like, we do still like them.
We do. I mean, we made Cats in 2019. You know, that's like, let's put it out there.
To round this section off a little bit, I listened to an incredible episode of This American Life called Music of the Night After Night After Night.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And it's about the orchestra of the Broadway production, which ran for 32 years.
Damn.
Under their union contract, basically you have a job for as long as the show runs. And in most Broadway shows, that's a couple of years.
Yeah.
Anywhere from months to years. They did not anticipate this running for 32 years.
Why would you? You know? Why would you anticipate that?
So yeah, some of these people played it for the entire time. And they start talking about how it becomes like a social experiment of doing the same thing every single night.
That you just every night.
The first French horn takes out a stopwatch every night to time the second French horn to time them on one note. And they can tell you the range that they do it. They keep notes. The first violin describes himself as a violin operator. He's like, I don't play music. I just deliver it.
I guess that's it. Like when you do the same thing every day for 32 years.
There is a bassoon player who has sat next to the same clarinet player since 1988. And they have convinced he every night goes, you play half a note flat every single night. And every day he's like, no, I don't. They hate each other. And also, many of them, because you're not playing the whole time, and they've been doing it for so long, they start learning languages, they start reading books. There's a guy who runs like a business through a laptop.
Oh, I bet.
They just like get on with their lives. I cannot recommend this episode of This American Life enough. It is incredible. I haven't scratched the surface of the lunacy of it.
That is unbelievable. We'll have that linked in the description for you so you can have a listen to that. But
I will play it for you later because you will love it. I howled laughing. But the yassification continues, Gerrard.
Well, we love a success story. We love it. 32 years? Oh my God, crazy. We've hit 10,000 shows. Incredible.
We're going to make a movie, y'all. It was December 6th, 2004.
On that cold December morning, we all know where we were.
Joel Schumacher came out and said, everyone, I've done it.
I've done it.
Andrew Lloyd Webber chose him because he really liked The Lost Boys.
Which was a movie that he made like 20 years before. Like,
I just find it a weird thought to imagine Andrew Lloyd Webber watching The Lost Boys.
Oh, I don't. I don't. I really don't.
I can't imagine him watching a film. I don't know why.
Oh, God, no. He definitely watches. Yeah, no. He's definitely watching The Lost Boys, for sure.
Say no more.
Say no more.
So they had been discussing it shortly after The Lost Boys came out because they originally wanted to do it after it came out to Broadway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, quite early on. And it just didn't happen because
No,
Sarah Brightman and Andrew Lloyd Webber got divorced.
Well, yeah, there's that,
Michael Crawford became a crazy person by all accounts.
I also think as well, like, there's a lot of, because you have the thing with like Broadway, when it's like in the opening bit, you don't want to immediately go and make a film of it. It's like why, so many of these things we don't have films of yet. Like, Hamilton is like the biggest Broadway success of the past decade. And it's like, we still don't have a movie. Yeah. And it's like things like Rent, again, like came out in the sort of 90s. And it's like, you didn't get that film until the mid 2000s. Same with The Phantom. Same with like a lot of those kind of films. Les Mis, another great example of
came out way later.
Way later.
We've only just gotten Wicked. People have been clamoring at the bit for a Wicked movie. They don't want to sell the rights to it because they want to keep selling the tickets to the show.
They want you to keep going to it. They want you to keep seeing it on Broadway.
Same reason we don't get pro shops.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Like, I completely understand that. So I can see why that back then you weren't going to get a movie straight away.
But they just kind of kept it on the back burner for a while and they like came back to it and left it and came back to it. And eventually it was like the early 2000s. They were like, okay. One of the first things they decided is they wanted the Phantom to be played by someone they didn't really know. They didn't
boy.
They didn't want like an obvious choice.
And they didn't get one.
Oh.
You want to talk about a not obvious choice? Gerrard Butler.
I can't tell you how much I've been thinking about it in like the past, I'm going to say like 2 to 3 months. It just comes up and it just goes, why?
I want to say, I love Gerrard Butler. He is a class guy. He's very nice.
He is.
He's very well-meaning. He's good in stuff,
He's not bad in this.
He just can't sing. Like, you know.
I've managed to track down the DVD behind the scenes of the making of the 2004 Phantom of the Opera film, which again, I'm so sorry if you knew me in high school, you've had to listen to me talk about this. Gerrard Butler's interviews are incredible because he is saying all the right things of like, yeah, I really want to challenge myself. I really want to like, but his eyes are going, why am I here? Why was I chosen to do?
He's just not like in any way a conventional choice for it because like he's
so hunky.
He's so big and hunky. He is not like
the Phantom's like typically like very tall, very lean, like an intimidating presence. Gerrard Butler looks like he bench presses.
He does. He's got a squat rack down there, you know? Like he's got a whole Smith machine set up in his lap.
He is not missing leg day.
No, absolutely not.
Like, he's got like a fridge full of Huel.
He's so beefy.
There's also a lot of them like, yeah, we want someone with like a rock and roll quality. And you're like, just say that he's not good at singing.
I don't, to be fair, I don't know who in 2004 you cast for that, but
Keanu Reeves.
He'd give it a go, to be fair.
Oh God, he'd give it a go and it'd be awful.
But I think do you know what? I think he would embody the physicality of it quite well, I think.
Do you know what? He wouldn't be a bad choice now.
Yeah, I don't know what his singing's like, but yeah. Well, he's in a band, so he probably can sing. Like he does, you know.
Better than Gerrard Butler does.
Exactly.
But the cast is all really young as well. Emmy Rosen, who plays Christine, is 16.
Damn.
Yeah, because Joel Schumacher didn't want to make a middle-aged film.
I can see that.
Yeah, they wanted to, like, they really were appealing to, like, young adults and teenagers.
And you want to sex it up a little bit, you know?
Well, we made it sexy and then we made it sexier.
Yeah, exactly.
It was done on the provision, though, that everyone does their own singing.
And what a mistake that was.
Well, fun fact, Gerrard. Only one person doesn't do their own singing in the film. Do you know who it is?
Is it Minnie Driver?
It is Minnie Driver. Yeah, she is dubbed by an actual soprano because she is a trained singer, but in her own words, I'm not that good.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
For the longest time, you could tweet Minnie Driver and she would respond to you about the Phantom of the Opera.
We're going to tag her in this on like...
Do you know what? I might try it because I do remember being like, how's your back? And she's like, just recovering from carrying that film.
I love Minnie Driver. She's fantastic. She's fantastic.
And she's so good.
Yeah.
She is doing the maddest accent in this film. She is so good.
She's having fun.
She's not chewing the scenery. She's eating it with milk. Like... And so is everyone else as well. It is so big. It's
a Joel Schumacher movie.
Oh, and
like it shows.
He thinks it's a bit sexy.
And you go, but Joel, you think like the 60s Batman's a bit sexy. So like
it does also get there are some bits where he may think the Phantom and Batman are the same. Yeah. There are a couple of shots where you go, no, Joel, that's the Batman.
That's the Batman that you're
not
doing.
The Phantom.
You're doing Batman.
It was all filmed in England.
Yep.
It was all filmed on real sound stages.
It's fun.
It's got a gorgeous, massive set. There's the theater set is actually like a 900-seater theater.
Wow.
And then they burn it down. They were able to record the score with like 100-piece orchestra as opposed to the 27-piece orchestra you have in the theaters. Mm-hmm. It was huge. It's like most expensive independent produced film at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Andrew Lloyd Webber paid for a bunch of it. Like,
well, fair play. Like,
I have a very soft spot in my heart for this film. I've not seen it in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I reckon if I did, I'd want like a box of celebrations.
Yeah. It's a Christmas movie.
It is. But Gerrard, you think that's where the story ends?
I know it's not where the story ends. Now I'm gonna suggest something.
Go on.
We're gonna live suggest this because I know what we're about to talk about.
Yes.
Which is the sequel musical, Love Never Dies.
Yes.
Now, we have been recording for quite a while. We're a little over. And I think that people need to hear our unfiltered,
I'm willing
raw
to yeah.
thoughts. We will get into it a little bit here because I don't want to not talk about it because this is an episode on the Phantom of the Opera and it is important to talk about. However, I think we should do an extra bonus patron episode.
Absolutely.
Or our post show is just going to be us talking about Love Never Dies in its entirety because there's
Join our post show where we talk about Love Never Dies.
And you can hear audio of Donna going and seeing a cinema screening of Love Never Dies where she is the only person there. And
this was not intentional. I checked and there were 7 other seats sold and I was the only person who attended.
Yeah. And boy, are you having a good time. But yes, Love Never Dies.
Love Never Dies is the sequel to The Phantom of the Opera based on a novel called The Phantom of Manhattan. Now, we'll talk about Love Never Dies. Oh boy.
We'll talk about the main points here.
Why is there a sequel?
Why is there a sequel?
There is a surprising amount, and this is even before self-publishing. There was an awful lot of Phantom of the Opera spin-off fiction.
Well, you were a teenage girl at the time, so
Here's the thing, I never read a lot of it.
But you can see why it would be written in that, like...
Because it wasn't even for teens. It was for, like, the MILF audience. It was for moms.
Well, yeah, but, like, Twilight hadn't come out yet. Or had just come out, I should say. So, and we like a tall, mysterious bad boy. And, honey, I can change him. I can fix him.
You can fix him.
I can fix him, And there's a lot of that.
It's an awful lot.
A lot of I can fix him.
There is also now an absolute dearth of phantom space online, which has made researching this really difficult.
Oh, it's definitely muddied that water a little bit of like
there are things
those classic Wattpad entries from back in the day.
I started to look things up thinking I'd like found actual historical research and being like, oh no, it's a enemies to lovers one bed in a hotel room. Why are they in Las Vegas?
I mean, in the actual show, why are they in New York is my question.
Because the Phantom moved to Manhattan after leaving Paris, where he opens the fairground in Coney Island, where he hires Meg to be a dancer and convinces Christine under false pretenses to perform there at opening night. In doing so, jealousy is caused, which ends fatally when they find out that the Phantom has a son with Christine, and then she's shot.
That's the...
Now I've missed out big bits of that.
Boy. I will say, I am not a musical person. I'm not a musical theatre person. I have seen one show on Broadway, which is one more than a lot of people, but it's like, I'm not a Broadway person.
You've seen Love Never Dies, and you've seen the Diana musical.
I've seen the Diana musical,
and you've seen Cats.
And I've seen The Producers as well.
Oh, yes, you have.
But, I am not a musicals person. I'm not a theatre person. All of it kind of washes over me. I've seen Rent as well. I hate it. No,
we're never going to talk about this on the show because I don't want to hear it.
Hate Rent. But Love Never Dies is a real experience of like, why did you make this? Why is this a thing that exists? In so many ways, it is a baffling concept to even begin with.
From beginning
to end, it is an awful, terrible concept.
Because you have to say, and we talk about this all the time, when coming up with an idea, ladies and gentlemen, say it out loud.
Say it out loud.
Look at yourself in the mirror and say the words, I want to make a sequel to The Phantom of the Opera. You have to say those words. And then, like, internalize that.
What is the conclusion of this thing? Where you go, well, the Phantom of the Opera has to negotiate a hostage situation, which is what he does. That's how that show ends.
Gerrard, what is the line that will stay with you forever.
Give me the gun, Meg. Give me the hurt and the pain and the gun, Meg, said the Phantom of the Opera.
Join us on our post show where you can hear me in real time respond to that in a cinema.
But it's safe to say that the sequel musical...
It's something.
It's something. It's bad. You can listen to a whole podcast of us talking about how bad it is.
And how much I love it.
But how bad it is.
But Gerrard, do you think Phantom of the Opera is iconic?
So this is going to be like, yeah, I do. I do think the Phantom of the Opera is iconic. I don't know what lesson I'm going to glean from this. I
have a lesson.
Okay. But yeah, I do think the Phantom of the Opera is iconic. I can't really put into words why I think that, because it's not like a sort of Mickey Mouse situation where it's like, oh, well, everyone, I guess you see the mask, you know who it is, you know, you can identify.
This was going to be my argument, yeah.
You can identify the Phantom of the Opera. You know, it's parodied a lot in many, many things. But like, it's not, I don't have a massive attachment to the Phantom of the Opera.
No,
it's
that's
one of
fair. I am biased.
I think this is a case of, and this is yesterday we went out and we spoke to, you know, people who had never heard our podcast before, and the conversation that you have every single time with anyone is like, ooh, who's an icon? And they'll give you like a million and one suggestions and be like, oh, Elizabeth Taylor, or ooh, you know, Virginia Woolf, like you go through the Richard Burton, all these sort of people, and then you go to the people that you have done, and you say like Tom Cruise, and they go, "Oh, I don't think Tom Cruise is an icon." And it's like, what do you mean you don't think Tom Cruise is an icon? Like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, how do you? And I know that we think about these things a little bit differently because like we are really in the source of it. But it's the thing for me a little bit of like going like, oh, I don't think the Phantom of the Opera is an icon, but it's like it's because I don't really think about it in those terms.
In those terms, yeah.
I've never really considered that as an option.
Well, because I said it and you were like, really? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I like, you know, and I know it's like based on a book and, you know, from 100 years ago, whatever. It's like, yeah, I can absolutely see. But I've never really thought about it because, again, I'm not into musical theatre. I'm not a little drama child, you know. So it's like...
Sorry, what are you insinuating?
I'm not insinuating anything. I'm, you know, take that statement.
I am a little drama child.
Yeah, you are a little drama child for sure. But yeah, I think, yes, thinking about it actually, if I'm going to put other people that we have put on as icons on this show, I do have to, by my own metric, go, yeah, the Phantom of the Opera is an icon. I guess my lesson would be, you should absolutely follow us on your podcast platform of choice, whether that be Spotify or Apple Music, wherever it is that you get your fine podcast from. Leave us a 5-star review. I'm going to go with, what's your favorite musical? Do you have one? Do you not like musicals? I'm going to be controversial and say Grease is my favorite musical. You should see the look that Donna is giving me.
He did that to upset me.
I did. But yeah, let us know what your favorite musical is in the comments down below. You can also follow us on Instagram, How to Be an Icon Pod. And as we have already said, we've pimped it out already, but you can definitely do it. We've got our Halloween spooky special coming up this Friday, where you get to hear our thoughts on the cult classic television special of Ghostwatch, which is going to be very, very fun. It's such a fun show to watch back, and it's a really, really interesting. The reception to it is so interesting. How it all
There's
came
never
about.
been anything like before it or since.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
Yeah, there's been absolutely nothing like it since, and so you definitely want to watch that. It's on our Patreon, patreon.com/how to be an icon. You also get to hear our wonderful thoughts.
Oh, Wonderwall.
Our wonderful thoughts on Love Never Dies. I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to go off of. But yeah.
I was going to say, my conclusion would be of like, yes, of course it's iconic.
Yeah.
It's one of the longest running West End shows. It was one of the longest running Broadway shows.
Yeah.
There's something really like enduring about that character and the idea. Like, I was really surprised how many things reference it, because I forgot it gets referenced in The Simpsons a bunch.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
It's in Family Guy. Like, there are so many like spin-offs and like
It's
manipulations of that concept.
Yeah.
It's the idea of like a masked man, an organ, and Box 5 and the chandelier and all of those things are as iconic, I think, as Frankenstein and Dracula. Those like images. And it's like, sometimes the note I made was sometimes the creation is more than the creator.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe like the image and the idea is iconic enough on its own.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying Gaston Leroux is an icon. I'm saying that character definitely is.
Yeah, it's interesting because like our episode on Mary Shelley is like, well, you can't really, the two ideas are very linked together of the person and the the creation. Sort of like the monster itself. Oh. But yeah, Gaston Leroux, I couldn't tell you nothing about it. I would be like, is that the one who did that song Bulletproof?
But like, I know for me, I just wish someone would have cared about my creative like improvement as a child that much. Like,
yeah.
So my lesson is, if there's someone out there that you think's talented, really go in all in it, which is our podcast.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I'm also going to tack onto that I do think when Del Boy falls through the bar and Trigger is there, that's like really, really funny. That's like the best bit. Comment down below what your favorite Only Fools and Horses bit is. There's so many to go through.
Sorry, you're not going to talk about when all the sex dolls blow up because of the heating. They've got to get rid of them because they're full of toxic gas.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's selling the tap water. You know, he's selling it, but he's also in the contaminated contaminated sauce. He's getting it there.
Batman and Robin.
Peckham Springs.
When Rodney pulls that hair out of the porridge. Put a pony in your pocket. I'll get my suitcase out the van. Because if you want a show that is better than this one, go listen to anything else. And then they found that watch and they ended up like making loads of money.
They made loads of money. It was beautiful.
House is a very, very, very fine house with 2 dogs in the garden. Thanks for joining us, everyone. This has been my favourite one so far. The show's over. The
show's long been over. Like I say, follow us at your podcast platform of choice. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is that you get this fine audio.
He has trouble getting his wife pregnant. It causes tension in their marriage because she's a bit uptight and she actually blames Rodney for having a low sperm count. But Del becomes quite irritated because they're having to have sex frequently and he doesn't understand that because his kid's called Damien and they think he's the devil.
Okay, well, we're going to turn that down. No more of that. But Only Fools and Horses, home safe, everybody.